Y'all remember me telling y'all that I'm going to have to start planting things that are deer resistant or things that the deer don't love? Well, today is the day that I'm about to put some things in the ground that hopefully the deer aren't going to eat. They're evergreen, and I think they'll be really pretty in my landscape. Here it is, the end of October, and I have a couple of shrubs that I want to plant because fall is the best time to plant. The shrubs that I have are part of the Southern Living Plant Collection, and I'm going to tell you what they are. The first one that I have is called Sunshine Ligustrum. You can see that right there. It's from the Southern Living Plant Collection, and it is an evergreen, or if it's in enough sun, it will be ever yellow. But it's an evergreen shrub that grows 3 to 6 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. And I can attest to that because my mama has some in her yard, and they are, well, they're taller than I am. They're approaching 6 feet. I'm 5'2", and they're taller than me. And let me tell you what, my mama, I don't think she's ever even watered them, and they are thriving. I'll show y'all a picture of them. This is the Sunshine Ligustrum that's in my mama's yard. And I don't know how many plants she has here. I'm gonna back up so you can kind of see. It's planted around this little, I think that's a little gem magnolia. But look at there. It is so big, and it gets pretty much full sun all the time. I don't know if that's 3 or 4 that's planted around that magnolia. It kind of needs to be trimmed up and pruned up, but you can see how it has the yellow foliage, and then the parts that don't receive as much sunshine are greener, but the tips are just as yellow as they can be, just like sunshine. Southern Living has outdone themselves with this plant. It is hardy in zones, it says 6 to 10, but I saw somewhere else that maybe it was 7 to 10. But anyway, I think it will do in zone 6, but it may lose some of its leaves during the winter time if it's too cold for it. But this is also known as a privet, a ligustrum. It's also called privet. And I have lots of privet around my place, and I just call it old privet hedge because it's everywhere and it's invasive, and you can't get rid of it. Once you've got it, forget about it. You're gonna have it forever. But this one is especially good. Oh, did I just break that? Well, I think I did. Sunshine Ligustrum is especially good because it's sterile. It doesn't flower, it doesn't get the pollen, it doesn't spread itself around. It stays put. All it does is grow. It grows like a crazy plant. So if you want a hedge, privacy hedge, well, you know, kind of maybe a 6-foot privacy hedge with lots of color and beauty, low maintenance, Sunshine Ligustrum is the way to go. I only have one today, but there may be more in my future. Pretty without flowers. The second Southern Living plant that I have today is Purple Daydream Dwarf Loropetalum. Can I get this up here? Can y'all see that on the picture? Anyway, it's a beautiful shrub. It's also evergreen or ever purple. And this one is nice because it stays compact. I mean, this one's huge. This one may be full grown. Well, let me tell you what it says about it. Full sun to part shade, 2 to 3 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. So this one's almost there. But look at it. Look at that foliage. And it stays this color year round. And it doesn't lose its leaves. Now, let me tell you. 2 Decembers ago when we had that terrible freeze that came across the country, and the temperatures went from like the high 40s to 6 degrees in 3 hours. Well, a lot of everything got nipped. And my mama has Loropetalum in front of her porch at her house. And those shrubs were hit really, really bad with that freeze. And it took them a while to come back, but they're back. Only one of them did not survive, but the rest of them are back and they're looking beautiful. So I'm optimistic about this one in my yard. Because if they can thrive in my mama's yard, and she does nothing to them, they only get the water that God gives them, and I don't think she ever fertilizes them or anything. And hers look great. So maybe mine will do okay too. Let me see what else it says about them. This petite beauty displays dark purple mounding foliage year-round and bursts with lovely dark pink string clusters each spring. Yeah, Loropetalum is also known as fringe flower. Purple Daydream is versatile, handling full sun to part shade, as well as offering drought tolerance and deer resistance. Yay! Hardy zones 7 to 10. Of course, well-draining soil, just like everything else. And it says if you want to prune it, but this one, with it being like low growing, only 3 feet tall, 3-4 feet wide, you really shouldn't have to prune it very much. But if there's like a stray limb or something hanging out that you don't like, you can cut it anytime. But it will flower in the spring, so if you want to prune it, do that right after it flowers, after it's finished flowering. But deer resistant, I told y'all that I was going to start looking for things that were deer resistant. And so you know what I did? I started riding around my town here and just looking at people's yards, looking at people's landscapes to see what was thriving in their yards. Because if it's doing well for them, it'll probably do well for me too. And I don't know why I hadn't done this sooner, but my mama, her Sunshine Ligustrum is just right there at her driveway. I see it 5-6 times a week. The deer don't bother the Sunshine Ligustrum or the Loropetalum. We're off to a good start. And so now that it's fall, I'm going to get these in the ground somewhere. They'll get established before it gets too cold here. Hopefully they'll make it through the wintertime, and in the spring, hopefully I'll see some pretty flowers on the Loropetalum, and the Sunshine Ligustrum will be pretty yellow foliage year-round. Oh, with the Sunshine Ligustrum, the more sun that it gets, the more yellow it is. The more sunshine it looks to be. The more shade it's in, the greener the foliage will be. So that's one thing to think about. So you need to put it in. It says it'll take full sun, and at my mama's house, they're in the most sun that you could get. So I don't know why I hadn't bought these sooner. Now, all I have to do is put them in the ground. And that's what we're going to do next. I think this will be a good spot for this Sunshine Ligustrum. It gets full sun all day. And this right here is an annual black-eyed Susan vine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it up. It has not done like I wanted it to do this year. It didn't run up my obelisk or anything. It does have a few more blooms on it than I put one here last year too. But yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna pull this out, move this obelisk, and plant my Sunshine Ligustrum right here. This right here, Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus, it's an annual that I started from seed this year. It looks kind of like a Japanese maple, but you see that the deer have been eating on this, so it's too bad because it is a pretty one. So it won't matter. The Sunshine Ligustrum, it won't interfere with that because that's not going to be there for very much longer. Whew, this ground is so dry. I need a pickaxe. Tired. won't have to prune it or anything. It can get as big as it wants to get. I'm just gonna dig this dead little cousin what was it? Oh, Cryptomeria globosinana. I'm gonna dig this out and replace it with the Loropetalum. Or Danny is. I don't know.
Oh, easy.
I know. I don't know what made it die. It was a good day to be in the yard. I got both the Loropetalum and the Sunshine Ligustrum. Got them both planted and watered in really well. So hopefully they'll thrive, and hopefully the deer won't bother them. Hopefully they'll keep their leaves through the winter, and come spring, they'll be ready to grow and mature and put on a show. That's what I'm hoping for. Fall is here. The leaves are falling. Pretty soon we're going to have to start raking. I think I'm going to get Danny to just chop them up with the lawnmower, and then we can spread them around in the flower beds. That's supposed to be good for your flower beds. It's supposed to be act like a good mulch. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would certainly appreciate it if you'd do that. Maybe give this video a like. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have a Sunshine Ligustrum or Loropetalum in your yard and how they perform for you. Have a good day. Bye.